In this ever-changing world, there's always new technology around the corner. A mere 40 years ago, electric cars were a thing of the future and unthinkable. But now in this modern day and age of 2019, they're as common as ever. The same thing could be said for virtual reality, mobile phones, even facial recognition. To say that this world isn't ever-changing would be a lie, and both you and I would know that. Walt Disney, one of the most innovative men on Earth, said, "Times and conditions change so rapidly that we must keep our aim constantly focused on the future." Most of these changes have a lot to do with one genre that I'll be talking about today, and that genre is cyberpunk. Now, before we get too deep into what cyberpunk is, I'm going to give you a few examples on what it could look like. One example is this. Or it might look something like this. Or perhaps maybe something like this. Now, after looking at all of these, you could maybe say it looks technologically impressive, or very vibrant and outgoing, or just straight up beautiful. And if you ask most people, they'd be pretty happy in living in a world like that. What if I were to tell you that's the last place you would want to live at? In the reality of cyberpunk, the term is low life and high technology, with the majority of people being depressed, ready to hand over their lives to a tyrannical government for any type of drug or anesthetic to keep them happy. A prime example of a cyberpunk setting is a game called the Red Strings Club, where you play as a bartender witnessing the lives of people who come in and come out more and more depressed on the daily, until the government decides to wipe away all depression and all bad emotions in order to keep the population alive. This shows a perfect split of what can happen if the world gets too advanced. I mentioned the recent technology changes because, in all cyberpunk settings, the changes start off small, like ours. But what if one day we become so addicted to technology, and so clingy and so dependent on it, that suddenly technology controls us, and we no longer control technology? However, there is still hope with the current generation. I've gone ahead and interviewed 6 high school students on their thoughts on technology in the future. I feel this interview would be wise because it'll let us get an insight as to what other people will think about the future, not just me and you, the viewer who's watching. If you could change one part about yourself, what would it be?
My procrastination.
Probably my reflection skills.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Everything.
Okay, can I get an example?
My face.
Probably my face.
Decent hairline forever.
If you could do that with technology, would you?
Yes.
Yes.
If you could do it with technology, would you?
Definitely. No, you're not unique.
Okay, what do you think the world will look like in about 50 years?
There'll be more technology, and they'll probably solve lots of problems that we have today.
A lot of plants.
Why is that?
Because it's more beneficial.
What do you think the world will look like in about 50 years?
I think it will be the same, just more technology.
I mean, there would be technological improvement, medical improvement, but I don't know how society will be.
Not that much different than it does now, but for sure different, like cars would probably fly and stuff.
If you think someone could alter their appearance and personality 100% with technology whenever they felt like it, you think that'd be a good idea?
No,
Why is that?
because everyone has to be different and they could just make everyone the same, which is not good.
No,
Why is that?
because everyone will become narcissistic and try to become the best version of themselves, get addicted to changing their face and their body, and then they become monsters, basically.
No.
Why is that?
Because you're unique the way you are. If you change yourself, you're not unique. You're not unique.
There's a gap between personality and aesthetic. I think personality makes a bigger change than aesthetic, because from my point of view, like you could know someone maybe like from their personality, maybe like if you met them online, there could be a chance that you could recognize him in the real world. Probably because of their personality, and probably not because of their aesthetic, because they could look, I don't know, in whatever way you could imagine.
Now, if you ask me, those answers are pretty relieving to hear. All of them are willing to put behind technology for their own aesthetic and personality, and are not willing to let it get ahead of them. That shows that this world still has hope. Do remember that this is still a fictional genre. Some of the warnings I list may never actually happen, because it's just a work of fiction.